All right, February 19th, 24. And we're going to do some more TurboTax help here. If you haven't been here and you're looking to get some help with your TurboTax, make sure you leave a comment in the chat there on whatever questions you may have. We'll go over them live here. I have a few things on the agenda to work on today. The sale of a primary home, so you sold like the home you're living in, and how to get that exclusion. How to enter your, what do they call it, the identity theft PIN, ID PIN from the IRS. Like if you were assigned something, maybe you got rejection code when you tried to file and you don't know what the heck this thing is, kind of how to retrieve that online and where to put it into TurboTax. And if time permits, we'll go through, I'll kind of just mess around with like a Schedule C, like a sole proprietor, kind of getting that 1099 amount that you got, or if you got one, reduced for tax purposes. Just going to kind of play around with that one to show kind of what numbers do for that, what you can and can't write off for your business or for that 1099 independent contracting income. Again, if you have any questions, be sure to leave those in the chat box here. I'll try my best to answer those if those come up. In the meantime, we're going to start off with the primary home sale here. All right, so let's switch over to my screen. There we go. All right, so if we're going to sell a home, this would be income. So we check on that wages and income button there. I'm just going to search this here, see what kind of comes up. Home sale, there it is. So less common items is where that kind of pops up. But I think this is a really helpful tool if you kind of come to the bottom of this section. I think it also is in the deduction section, this little search, and you just type it in there. So home sale is what I typed in there. And let's see, where is it? Home sale, right there. Let's give this thing a try. All right, so it's going to ask us our basic TurboTax questions. Sale of your home. Did you sell your home? Did you sell or have your home foreclosed? Yes, we sold the home. Sold the home. If you made money on the sale of your home, we can help you find out if the profit is tax-free, right? You get the exclusion if you live there, if your primary home for 2 out of the last 5 years. $250,000 of the gain is excluded from income if you're single, or $500,000 if you're filing joint. So here's what we need to know. The day you sold it, that's the amount you sold it for. The day you bought it, the amount you purchased it for. The improvements, right? This lowers that capital gain. The Form 1099-C if it was short-saled. Okay. Well, I don't have the 1099-C, but I do have a 1099, what we call S. And that's actually a more common one that we see here. I would also actually advise for these things, the closing statements of the purchase and the sales price. Those generally are what we are looking for. Now, actually, a lot of times when I do these returns, I'm not even really like getting this purchase closing statement, because we can kind of get these online. This is public information. And generally, people are not exceeding this exclusion amount, okay? So as long as we're not exceeding that, then we don't really have to like nitpick for closing costs on there. And actually, most of the closing costs are when you sell it, right? Because that's when you pay the closing, the commissions, I apologize, for the realtors, right? Because they are charging whatever it is, I don't even know, it's like 2 to 4% of the sales price when you sell it. Well, the seller pays the commissions for both realtors. Generally is my understanding how that works. I am no expert in this area, but I have seen that before. All right, so let's continue here. All right, ownership and address of the home. So obviously, got to put where you sold the home, what home you sold. Pretty straightforward here. Okay. Deal, click continue. Okay, so I'm actually saying that this was owned by both me and my wife. This is going to help out with the bigger exclusion, right? The $500,000 of exclusion versus the $250,000. Did you receive a 1099-S? This is common that a lot of people do receive, okay? So let's Let's do that here. Let's say we got something that looks like this. I know this says 2022, but let's pretend this says 2023. Pretend, here we go. 1.1, wow, look at that. Sold this thing for a pretty penny here. Selling price, 1175123. The date we sold it, we'll say 02/01/2023. Yes, we did get the 1099-S. All right, so yeah, you'll see, right, the gross proceeds right there, and the date of the closing, box 1 and 2. That's what it's asking for here, box 1 and 2. The sales expenses, right, these are not going to be on the 1099-S. This is going to be on like the seller's statement or the closing statement. That's what we call this, the closing statement here, right? It's going to kind of match up here, and there's look at those big commissions. Wow, that's essentially part of the sales expense. And let's see what else we can write off, right? The commissions, right? Appraisal fee, brokerage fee, legal fee, all this stuff, right? So a lot of that actually is in this title charges, the escrow charges, right? So there's a credit, so you would have to minus this out, but we're going to add all of those up. A lot of these are, right, these miscellaneous charges. The home warranty would be a no. These two, right, would be a yes in terms of deducting those out. So we could put all those there. You know what? Just for simplicity here, though, I'm just going to take these big numbers here. So let's whip out our handy-dandy calculator here. 35250 plus 23500. Look at that, $58,000. My gosh, realtors making some money there. Okay, we're going to hit continue. And what else do they have here? Of course, the day you bought the home. So let's say we bought the home in 01/01/2019, right? And the amount we bought it for was $870. So this is actually a good one, right? It's adjusted cost basis. It doesn't say how much you bought it for. Generally, that's what we're putting in here, the amount we bought it for. But we're going to find out that improvements come into place. See? So the original costs, including sales tax. Well, generally, there's no sales tax on these things. Purchase expenses, commissions, etc. It's generally the original cost of the property. And then, you know, whatever improvements you've made. That would be like a renovation of the bathroom, a new fence around the yard, a roof, an addition, something like that. That would be improvements. Okay? That's essentially what we're looking for. Inherited has its own rules. Inherited properties are obviously really cool because you inherited them, number one. But number two is that we get what they call the step-up basis. I don't know if they're putting that in here, but that's like our tax talk for essentially saying that you get the basis on the day that, unfortunately, the person passed away, the value of the house on that day. So we should have got something of an appraisal on that day to tell us what the value was. That's kind of like, you know, a small amount of people that, you know, this kind of applies to. So I'm going to go with the basics, the original cost plus improvements, okay? So I'm going to make this up here. Again, we could look at that closing cost from when we purchased it, but let's say it's about $870. Does a rebuild qualify as a renovation? Yes, a rebuild. Well, it depends what we're rebuilding. But for the most part, yeah, a rebuild, like let's say a real rebuild of, that would be like a renovation, right, of like a bathroom. That would be an improvement, and that is what we would add on to our cost basis. Again, cost basis, simple terms. What you paid for it, any improvements you made to the property. Simple as that, okay? That's what our cost basis is. And you're going to find out how, look at this, easy guide. What does this thing show? There you go. There it is. So it makes it simple, right? What did you buy? Let's say we bought it for $800,000. And then we put in, well, we'll hit continue. Say like there's not much here because there really wouldn't be much here. It'd be small amounts. Yes. When you bought this home, did the seller pay points? No. We're going to say no. Permanent improvements. Here we go. So this is, yeah, like I said, the roof, kitchen, bathroom, carpets, if there was none before, I guess, right? Landscaping, repairs would not qualify, right? Home additions, that would be, right? Basic stuff. I mean, this is all pretty self-explanatory. Special tax assessment. This is, I mean, yeah, of course, if they need to put like a sidewalk, things like that in there. So we're just going to say improvements, 70,000. We put good money into this house. We liked our house. Adjusted cost basis easy guide. Was your home ever damaged? So essentially, they're going to look at insurance, what they reimburse you for. I'm just going to say for simplicity, no. During 23 and early years, did you use part or all of your home for any of these, right? I'm going to say no. None of these I did. A rental or home office. Did we sell a home, main home, before this one? Because they're asking the question because you can only use this exclusion every 2 years. So that's what they're going to ask for. Did you have any mortgage that was forgiven? I'm going to say no. Man, a lot of questions, huh? Have you received any of following payments for your home? No, because you'd have to repay those when you sell them. All right, let's see here. Come on, man. Enter the description of the amount of any other items that increase the cost basis. Increase. So this would be for, I'm assuming, our improvements. I'm going to say no. We don't have additional ones. Okay. Decrease. No. Continue. There we go. 870. There's our, I mean, this is like generally what we see. Real common. Time you lived in your home. This is super important to get this thing. The rule is, wherever it says it in here, you have to live in your home for 2 out of the last 5 years before you sell. And as this is saying here, they do not have to be consecutive. So at least 24 months, you have to have made this your primary home. So long that you did for 24 months, we get this big exclusion for tax purposes. Okay, so what's the question? Did you live in the home for 2 years? Yes, I'm going to say yes, since that's the 2 years. Did Ebony? Yes, my wife did as well. Did you use this home for anything other than your primary home? I'm going to say no, this is only our home. I guess let's look. What kind of reasons do they provide here? Non-qualified use. Renting it out. Gotcha. Okay, deal. We're going to say no in this case. Continue. No, we did not. Another home sale. Sell another home. No, man, I wish we did. That'd be really cool, right? Sell 2? Man, that means you're balling. Did Ebony sell another home? Not that I know of. Did you do either of the following with your home? Take a home off. I already said this. No. After. Oh, my God. Geez, they got lots of questions. They're good at this stuff. How did you buy the home? Did you acquire this through? No. Like kind exchange. This is like a 1031. Probably something you've heard before. But yeah, another comment. If you have 2 homes and followed this 2-year rule, can I take advantage of the benefits for both homes? No. You can only have 1 home as your primary home, so that you wouldn't be able to do this for 2 homes during that time. Another question. Under what context can a single taxpayer file multiple times on separate... Okay, this is a good one. Here we go. Under what context can a single taxpayer file multiple times on separate instances, say given he or she has the appropriate different forms like... Under what context? I'm not quite sure I understand the question, Sam, but I think this has to do with amended returns, right? So let's say you filed a return and you forgot to put a W-2 or like a 1099 from Cash App. Is that the question? And you want to file again to include that? Is that the correct question? And if so, you have to amend the return. So you gotta go. I mean, I can show you that. If you could respond here, let me know if that's what you're asking. Yeah, we have to amend that return. And I actually just did a video on this. Believe it or not, it's going to be scheduled in like 30 minutes to post here, and it's a great video that goes through that exact question of how to amend that return. I'm going to continue on this thing here. And Sam, if you have that question, make sure you do let me know if we're looking to amend the return here, and if so, I'll go through that. Hello. How did you buy the home? Did you acquire the student? No, we didn't do a 1031 exchange. Good news. Because the gain of year was less than the maximum of 500, right? So our gain, just so we can kind of see this for illustration purposes, right? We sold the home, we're going to say for 1175123. We minus out our commissions that we paid, right? 35250 minus 23500, right? And then we bought our basis, right, is 870123. There it is. Look at that. Adds up. Okay, and it was less than the maximum of 500 because we're married filing joint. We pay no tax on this. So there we go. It's a filing thing. Yes, that's what I'm asking for. Okay, regardless, the addition will be an amendment. Okay, yeah, exactly. So yeah, you got to amend that return. It's actually, once you get through the return, there's like an FAQ on the side, Sam, and it says like amend, and then you kind of got to go through those steps. I highly recommend watching that video though, how to amend that return. It's going to be posting, in like less than 30 minutes here. So be sure to look out for that video on how to get that done. I kind of go through in detail on that stuff. What exactly are we amending, Sam? What did you miss? Saw your video regarding IHSS for TurboTax. I wonder if you have it for Pro Series. Then I was discussing this many ways. I wonder if this is the right place to put the W-2, the 1099 place. FOUD, I think is how we say that. I'm not quite sure. Oh, the video is up now. Look at that. So Sam, yeah, that amended return video is up. Be sure to take a look at that, and that should answer your questions. Let's see here, FOUD. I saw your video regarding, right? Yeah, Pro Series. If I could do a IHSS for Pro Series, essentially what you're looking, and that's the software that I use. So I can do a video for that, and I probably should, okay? I don't have Pro Series on this computer, so I can't unfortunately show you how to get that done on this computer right now. But I can make a video for you, and I can upload that. FOUD, sorry. It's a tough one. Then I was discussing this many ways. I wonder if this is the right place to put the W-2 income in 1099 place. I'm a little confused by your second comment there, but yeah, it should be on Schedule 1. So like exactly how I did it on that YouTube video for TurboTax, it should be done in Pro Series like that on that Schedule 1. So take a look. I mean, it's pretty straightforward on a Schedule 1 in Pro Series to do that. It shouldn't be too difficult for you. All right, so back to this here. Yeah, I apologize. I don't have Pro Series on this, or else I would show you if I could just do kind of like a quick one here. Let me see. You know what? Maybe I can find that and I can show that for you there. I think I missed Cash App related items, but I filed with a different filer, the IRS free one. So what do you suggest the amendment on the Cash App taxes? That's a good one. So you filed outside of TurboTax, and now you essentially want to file an amended return within TurboTax. There's got to be a way to do this. If you give me a minute, okay, I'll look into that as well. Okay, give me a second here, Sam and Vout. I'll try and answer both of your questions here. Let's see if I have that. Yeah, I don't have Pro Series. I'm so sorry. I just looked it up on my computer here. I don't have Pro Series on this computer. So I'll make a video for you, Vout, and upload that on the IHSS in Pro Series. It should be coming out by the end of this week, okay? That should be a relatively easy video for me to make, as I've done this many times. Okay, so I'll do that for you. And then in terms of Sam, let's take a look on how we do that within TurboTax, right? How we try and file an amended return. Okay, let me get through this here. Let's go to File. Let's see what happens. I'm going to try and get to the end of TurboTax here and see if there's a way to kind of do this without having filed through TurboTax. Okay, continue. Didn't file. Of course, man, there's going to be, let's go tax home. Here we go. See, like on the side here, there's like FAQ to amend returns. Is there maybe a way to amend it within the IRS? I'm thinking that the e-file service that you used. IRS free one. What exactly is the one that you used? IRS free one. Because I know there's like several of them, right? There's several like providers for the free. Amend using TurboTax by downloading, right? Windows. Adding, okay, continue. We can just do like a 1099 any. I think Cash App does like a 1099K, right? We do form isn't listed here, deal. Continue. Okay. Yeah, see, it's already taking my current return and it's amending the current return. I gotta look into this. I'm not quite sure, Sam, on how to do this through TurboTax when you haven't actually filed with them. Here's what you will need to do, okay? Whenever we do amend this return, because you're gonna need to. If you don't amend this return, you're gonna get like a nasty letter in the mail in like 2 years from now, something like that, and they're gonna say you owe a whole bunch in taxes, penalties, and interest, and you're not gonna want to have that happen. So we will want to amend, especially before April 15th, and then pay that difference, whatever's going on there. If you got a refund previously, or even if you paid previously, you're gonna have to pay for that Cash App because it's essentially self-employment income is what the Cash App was from. So here's what you will need to do, okay? You will need to do like a profit or loss statement. What did you get the Cash App for? What business is this? And what business expenses do you have to go against that 1099 income? The IRS says that you can deduct anything that's ordinary and necessary for you to generate that income, i.e. like your cell phone, if you have mileage to do for the business, if you're working out of your home office, that would be also really good. But then there's a whole bunch of other things, like, if you're using software. I'm not exactly sure what you're doing for this business, but you do need to gather all those expenses, as that's going to help lower your bill, because that's really where the rubber meets the road on this return with that Cash App 1099K. The IRS is going to want a lot of tax money from that. So you want to make sure that we do remove or do deduct all the business expenses that you have there. Okay, but isn't there a minimal taxable income amount? The thing is yes, there is, true. However, you've probably already exceeded that with your current return. So it's just adding on top of that. So there's now any additional income, there is taxable. And here's the other issue. It's not just ordinary income tax, like the normal tax rates, like the 10, 12, 22, 24 tax brackets, right? And et cetera. There's also Social Security and Medicare tax on this 1099 income from Cash App. It's a 15.3% tax on top of the ordinary income tax. So there's going to be some tax from that 1099. So again, you're going to want to get the deductions against that. So yeah, there is a minimum taxable income if that's your only income. It sounds like that's not your only income though. So since there's already income, it is taxable. Okay, so Cash App is not going to send you a 1099 for under $600. The IRS is going to want to tax you on this 1099 if it's at least over $400. So you're going to have to report this. This is something that will be reportable. You do have to amend your returns. Unfortunately, we got to get on top of that. Sam, what is the provider that you use to amend this or to file the original return? Maybe we can go straight to them to do the amended returns. That might be the easiest, because when we go to amend a return, we have to have all the original information in there. And if you use the provider from where the original return was filed, they already have all that information. So it'll be easy to make that change. Whereas if we go into using, a different software, like let's say TurboTax, we're gonna have to like re-enter in all the information. And then once we match the return, then amend it. It's a process. So I think the best course of action here would be to go to that provider that filed the original returns and then amend it through there. Again, 1099, and then get all your business expenses together. And then you're just gonna write like a little simple explanation saying, hey, I forgot to include my business income and expenses. And that's it. Make sure you amend it with the Fed and the state, depending upon what state you're in. Deal. I'm gonna go here, and I am going to try something new here, man. We're going to do the IRS PIN. That's what I'm going to try and figure out here. Okay, so where do we put the IRS PIN? Or let's say your return got rejected because of you didn't put in your IRS PIN to start with. Okay, let's do this. Cancel the amended. Yes, I want to cancel the amended. All right, and let's go down here, add a state, and let's do this yet again. All right, so again, if we're trying to put in the IRS PIN and we don't know where to put it, this is it. Other tax situations. We come here and we could just put it in there, PIN, right? Let's see here. Look at Identity Protection PIN. Boom. Hit that Identity Protection PIN. There it is. Did anyone get a PIN? Let's just say yes, right? Let's say it's for me. And you would just type it in there. Boom, easy as that, right? It was IRS free e-file. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Give me a second, Sam, and I'll try and like just search it live here with you, okay? It's okay to leave this box blanks if you didn't get the PIN. So this is where we would put the PIN. All right, let's do that. Let's go IRS free e-file. See, like, what did we use here? Did you use the guided tax software? I'm assuming so. And so which one do we use here? Right, browse all trusted partners or find your trusted partner. So like, and then they have all the different ones. Which one did you use? This is what I thought, how this worked. And they have all these different ones, right? So you have to tell me which one we did, and we would have to log in there to do that, I'm assuming. Deal. Okay. Let me know, Sam, and I'll help you out here, man. Or if you have like a URL for me to search here, I'll search this here and kind of work with it, with you on it. All right, deal. Let's go back. I'm gonna do like the PIN, right? What if we lost the PIN, right? We can get this PIN if we have an IRS identity theft, right? And we're looking for the PIN. I know there's a way to get it online here. Right, here we go. So we just like search this thing here. Right, get PIN. There it is. Boom, and just go create an account if you don't have one, or sign in, and you'll just get it right there, and you could throw it in right there. Easy as that. Or looks like there's a number we could just call. All right, simple as that to put the PIN in. And obviously you'll have to put it in on whoever got, or why this return got rejected, and you have to put it in for that person, right? If it was either me or my wife or my kid, we could each theoretically get our own PINs, and we'd have to put it in there. All right, I'm gonna do also kind of just play around with a self-employment income. So if we got, let's say like that 1099, what is Cash App issue? Cash tax forms. I believe they issue a 1099K, I believe is what it is. Yeah, 1099K. No, let's see if we did this. 1099K. Search. Look at that, self-employment, generally where this comes from. So we'll do self-employment. Here it is. Looks like I've already done this before. All right, let's do, let's say one of these here. Let's do consulting. Let's say we got a 1099K for consulting. Okay, deal. Okay, so this is super important, right? We have all this stuff filled out properly, but let's say we did this. Okay, that looks good. Let's put in some more information. Yes, I got some more income to add. IRS, here you go. Right? Well, let's see what they say here about the 1099K. More than 200 transactions, right? Okay, or 20,000. So, I mean, Sam, you must have had some income here for sure. It's not minimal. Okay. There it is. We got the 1099K. And who issued this? We'll say Cash App. And whatever their thing is, I don't even know. And let's say we got like 15K from them. Okay. This amount in box 1 is too high or includes some personal transactions. Huh. Let's look at this one. I think it's a Schedule 1 type deal. Well, it's okay. You can fix it and include things like cash back from debit card purchases. Check your records. Okay, that makes sense. Too high. Just enter the amount that shouldn't be included here. We'll subtract it from your total on your form. You should also reach out to whoever issued this and try and correct them. I think that's correct, right? Let's do this. I want to see what that looks like if I do that. Enter the amount that shouldn't be included here. Let's say $1,000. Yeah, I want to see what happens here. Continue, because I feel like that's going to be common, right? $14,000. No, so I will say that's it. That's everything. We're going to hit continue. Okay, continue. What is this? QuickBooks. Okay, deal. Nope, type in my expenses. Let's get all your expenses together. Meat and potatoes of a 1099. Oh my gosh, is your business expenses. Can't stress that enough, right? Watch, you can I kind of hate how TurboTax does just show like that number up above here that says like, how much tax you owe. But you'll see just in real time kind of what happens when we add this. So like travel, business travel. Let's say we have some business travel, right? We can deduct that. Oh, what's going on? Why is it not letting me? Learn more? Okay. Well, maybe browser's having some issues. Let's refresh this thing here. While that's refreshing, let's see here. Oh, come on, reload here. Come on, TurboTax. Cash App. Okay, review again, of course. Oh, no. All right, this is all correct. Looks good. Let's see here. No, we don't have additional income. Come on, Cash App. Continue. Nope, type in my expenses, and yes, let's do it. All right, so what do we have? Common stuff. Assets, maybe like a car, business travel. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to hit, none of these boxes are working. Let's just hit continue, see what happens. Checking for overlooked expenses. Oh my God, what did you miss? Let's see here. Did you make any major purchase for work costing over $200? Let's say yes. Let's say I bought like a, I don't know, camera or something like that because I am now posting on YouTube, blah. Did you have other work expenses? Yes, other work expenses. Did you pay for taxes or license fees for your work, right? Like a business license. I'm going to say, yeah, I had business license. Did you pay for meals? So meals, we can deduct anything that you paid for while conducting like essentially like a business meeting is what this is for. Let's see what they say, right? So while traveling for business, alone or with a business associate, meals when you attend conventions, trade shows, okay, hosting a group business at your home, hosting dinner at a private, right? More examples, meals with a potential customer clients. I think that's like most common. Business meals at a club, meals during outings with the business colleague, cost of meals for a business associate's spouse, and your own if other spouses are attending. So there you go. So like if you and your wife and your business associates and their wife were all in a meeting and it's for business and you're paying for the dinner, boom, let's write it off. Okay, so all these are great examples. This is like really good. This is good information here. So we're going to say yes, common, right? We have that. Did you use your internet? I mean, super common, right? You use your phone for business and internet. We found 5 extra categories. Well, thank you, TurboTax. Add expenses for this work. Maybe we can even do more. Look at this. If we messed up, you could just like click some more. Vehicle. Why is it not allowing me to click? Come on, man. I feel like this this thing's like down right now. It's not allowing me to click. Where do I click? Learn more? Learn more is not even working. Oh, well. I don't know. Maybe there's like cache issues on my... Oh, there it is. It worked. Man, patience, Anthony. Patience. Okay, I promise. Legal professional fees. That would be a good one, right? Like generally we include something like a tax prep fee, like my fee that my clients pay me to do tax returns. I would put that as an expense. Papa Murad, oh, thank you. I am the best. Let's see here. Office expenses. Let's see expenses, right? Like shipping, office cleaning. Let's say we got some of those too. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's put them on there. Come on, man. Promise I clicked it. There it is. Okay, let's hit those and let's give it a shot here. Deal. All right, let's do them all. Let's put in business expenses, mileage you're driving for work on our lovely TurboTax. Did you use your car? Yes, we did. Also, I wouldn't have checked that box, duh. Okay. Enter the make and model. Let's say, yeah, Honda Civic. Type of vehicle. It's an auto under. This is generally what we're choosing here. Okay, when did I start? I'll say I started at the beginning of the year. And I used it all year. I'm not going to check that box. Hit continue. I own this vehicle. This vehicle isn't mine. I love it. Okay, I guess it still works, right? Okay, continue. It's just funny. We need to know if this vehicle is available to you for personal trips. I'm going to say yes, it was. This is the only car I have. Did you have another vehicle? No, this is the only one I had. Deal. Did you keep track of the miles? This includes mile log, spreadsheet, tracking app on your phone, or something similar. Okay? Let's see what happens if we say no. What was I going to say? Of course, it still asks how many miles I drove, right? Of course, that's what we want to do. I'll enter the total amount. This is like, you know what? I'm going to double check this once I get through with this. See on the back end what it looks like on the tax return, okay? And kind of give you my 2 cents on something like this. Do you want to enter your mileage? Of course we want to enter the mileage. Oh, you can do the beginning and ending. Okay, so let's say total miles I drove, let's say 12,581 miles. Now, how much did you drive for the consulting, right? Let's say we drove 2415. We generally don't drive like round figures, right? There's like, what do we call that? Not like 12,000 even, essentially. Is what we're doing, okay? Hit continue. Integers, is that what we call it? Were 4 or more other vehicles? 4? My gosh, that's a lot of cars. No. Now let's select your vehicle deduction, right? Standard is that. I think it's like 64 cents a mile. What did I put? Like $2,400. I think that's what I did. 2,400 times 0.64, I think is what it is. Yeah, that's about it, right? Or we can get your what they call actual expenses, right? Generally speaking, standard deduction is like the best way to go, okay? unless you got like a gas guzzler or you put a lot of repairs into the car. But the thing is there is an additional commitment when you do something like that, because once you start using the actual, you have to continue using the actual for the life of the car. That's like kind of like, I guess, a little higher level, unfortunately, but it is like a tax planning type of thing we have to know about. If you do standard, you can then do actual later, but if you do actual now, you cannot switch back to standard. So yeah, that's something to consider. Another reason why people do actual expenses and not the standard is because they like to do like a big depreciation deduction year one. So that's also something else to consider. But again, once you start with actual, you got to continue using it until you sell the vehicle. So keep that in mind. The IRS says the cars have a 5-year useful life. For depreciation purposes, if you sell before the 5 years, there potentially can be depreciation recapture. Man, big words here that, yeah, you might not really understand. Let's see, what did Sam? Oh, he came back. Yeah, the only RAN I have to amend is because someone or entity changed my personal Cash App to a business account. I've already contacted customer support, but they hung up and aren't working with me. So this is a person. You have so this is a personal Cash App, is that correct? Retracted. Okay. Sorry, Sam, I read that out. So it's a personal Cash App that went to a business. Is that what happened? I believe so, right? And if that's the case, man, I would continue just like blowing up Cash App. Just keep calling them until you get through. Find out what's going on. Because, yeah, man, there might be a little, sounds like I don't have all the facts to this case, yeah, unfortunately. Or else I can't really advise you unless I know kind of everything. Yeah, so it went from personal and then to a business. Man, someone, not quite sure. If I had to guess, probably someone notified that you were a business when they were paying you, and that's why it switched over, and that's what happened. Huh. I would blow up Cash App first to find out, hey, is there a way we can correct this thing? This should have been personal, something like that. If then they tell you that, no, this is business, unfortunately, you're going to have to go the route that I'm saying, is amend the return. And then for any of the amounts that are personal, we can essentially like take those out on, I believe it's Schedule 1 is how we do this. I can look into this for you, but I believe it's Schedule 1. And we just say that that's, personal, paid for personal stuff. Cash App support is not helping me. You're saying that they just hung up on you. I would continually reach out to them. Sam, you can't be the only one that got a 1099 for essentially personal. I knew things like this would start happening once the IRS kind of made this as a rule. And you're not the only one that's in a situation like this. So I would advise to continually call Cash App until you get someone that can help you and advise you on this type of stuff, like seeing if there's a way. Because my guess, yes, I tried it, but the car won't work. The card won't work with me. Yeah. So, so you don't have a business. It sounds like potentially you might have a business if that's what's going on. And if that's the case, then, again, you're going to have to amend the return. You'll have to put it at self-employment income and then deduct all the business expenses that you can. And that's unfortunately what's going to have to happen. If this is truly just personal, then I would try go back to Cash App and again try and have them amend this or correct this 1099K, because yeah, there's an issue here. There's definitely an issue here. CSR, customer service reps. I'm not sure what that means. That's what I would recommend. Okay. And if you don't want to deal with Cash App, then you're going to have to deal with the IRS, and that is what it is. And you just have to do it the right way. Deduct all your business expenses is what it is. Okay. That's really the only two options you have, unfortunately. All right. I'm going to continue here. Unless, Sam, you want to give me any other facts that's going on with your case, I can maybe potentially help you out. But, if not, I totally understand. We are kind of just live on the internet here, and don't want to be giving out too many personal situations. And I understand that. Or you can reach out to us. I could help you out. Then I can personally advise you. Just give us a call, our phone number, right? 800-245-0596. And we can schedule a consultation, and I can go over this with you and guide you on this a little, if you can give me a little more facts of what's going on. I've never had a business. Change might have occurred by a shady individual. I am trying to explain it to the Cash App support, but they don't listen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, again, those are the only two options we have, Sam, is customer support with Cash App or file the return. It is what it is, or just stop using Cash App, I guess, moving forward, unfortunately. But those are your only two options is what you have, okay? Deal. Let's keep moving forward. Again, my phone number, 800-245-0596. Give us a call. You want to schedule a consultation. I can potentially, help you out with this as well. All right, let's continue on. I was doing the mileage deduction for your business, right? If you're driving for work, for self-employment is what this is. And we'll take the standard. We're going to make it easy here. Take the standard. Of course, we got more. So this is on top of the standard. We can deduct parking, tolls, transportation for work. What is that? Local transport. Okay, rental. Deal. Trailer? Marketing displays? Okay, deal. Let's say I did parking fees, $150. Tolls I didn't do. I don't like going on the tolls. Cha-ching. Thought it said king. What? Deductions. Okay, deal. Deductions doesn't mean actual bottom line. Do you want to claim another vehicle? No, we'll say this is it. This is all I drove. Awesome. All right. What else we got here? Let's do some tax prep fees. There it is. Okay. Legal fees might be another one. Let's do it. We'll just put tax prep fees. Let's say you pay me $500. Add another row. Let's say we're doing professional memberships. Right? We paid like $200 for this. See more examples. See what else you guys got. All right. Consultation fees. These are a lot of good stuff here. Fees paid for website analysis. Let's say that one. Web analysis. Okay, and these guys charge like $850 for this. Boom, done. Okay, and then we'll hit continue. Cha-ching. Oh, come on, where's the cha-ching? All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else we got. Meals. Boom. This is super popular, right? 50%. We only get 50%, but you do want to include all of the meals because then, wow, it's a lot of money. Well, deal. Meals, I'll hit continue. Okay, and you can definitely do that. Just like total it all up in one line. You don't have to say, I went to restaurant A, restaurant B, restaurant C. You don't have to do that. Just put it all in one line. Put it in there. And then as your backup, if you ever do get audited, then we can go back and look at the receipts and look at your spreadsheet that, has all that information in there. Some stuff in my keyboard. Travel. Okay, let's say we went to Vegas for a convention. We'll just put it all as travel. I would just do all one line. I mean, this is generally how I do when we prepare tax returns. We just do it all in one line. And then if we ever do get audited again, we go back to our records to get, how did I get that one line? Well, it came from travel to Vegas for a convention, travel to Florida to see a new client, travel to whatever, right? We put all that stuff in there. And then travel is going to include the airfare that you took there and to there and to come back, the hotels, at least for the days that you did do business there, only the days you did business. And then the meals, right? All the meals that you had the business meals for, or like the days that you were there for business. The days that you were not there for business, you cannot deduct those here, okay? But as long as, what's the rule? 50% of the time that you were there was for business. Let's say you went there Friday, you did business, Saturday, Sunday, you stayed, and then Monday you also did business. You could write off the flights for that whole time right there and back as business, but you couldn't write off Saturday, Sunday hotels. You could just do Friday, Monday hotels, or meals Friday, Monday meals, things like that, right? So there you go. All right, so let's do it. Let's say we paid for travel, man, we paid $847 for, well, I would say like hotels and flights. Let's say we paid $2,400. Continue. Office expenses, of course. I got pens and papers and shredders and shredding services. Ooh, that's nice. Just got a shredder inside my office. Basics, man. Postage, shipping. Look at that. Well, not all of us, but I definitely do that stuff. Let's see some more examples. What else do we got here? Sam's Club. I love it. They even put that in there. Do they pay for their name to be in here? Maybe. Cable line. There we go. Okay. Office decor. Wow. Like my lovely globe in the back there. All right. I actually found that at Goodwill. What's that? That thrift store song. Forget it. Okay, let's just do this. Office expense. Deal. For all of these together, you know, what did we pay? I paid $235. Not too much. Just a couple. Pens and decor. There we go. What else are we getting? Assets, right? Let's say like I bought an iPhone, iMac. I have a PC. What am I talking about? Did you buy anything, right? Yeah, we did. $2,500 or less. So don't include items you already expense. So essentially, if it's over $2,500, we can depreciate it. If it's less than, we can just like straight expense it. Man, it's rare that people do buy an asset that's over $2,500. It's not like a car. Man, what would you buy that's more than that? I guess for business, I mean, like a trailer, or, I don't know. I guess big businesses would do something like that. But I guess, you know, they got accountants doing this stuff. So we're going to say, no, nothing's over $2,500. Did we make improvements to the building? No. We're just going to say this is a computer. There we go. Super common, right? Computer. There it is. Continue. PC. Cost. We paid $850 for it. Date we purchased it. 6/1/2023. Deal. Boom. Yes, I've always used this item 100%. Yep, I will say that. Tell us more. I traded an old asset. No, I purchased this asset. Yes. The item was sold? No. Deal. Continue. First, oh my God, 6/20/23. The day I bought it, duh, that's when I first started using it. It's rare, right? You have a timing issue there. How do you want to deduct this item? Spread it over several years. Deduct the full value. Come on, let's do it. Why would we do this? I guess recommended if you anticipate having greater income in future years. Well, this is good tax planning, but I guess for a computer, you would just deduct the whole thing. Why would you? I mean, again, unless it's like a massive computer, I don't even know. Like what, a server? Those things are super expensive. There it is. Boom. Let's do it. Okay. It's on there. Done. Expensed it. You know what? Now I want to kind of take a look before we finish it up here. I want to take a look at how, let's see here. What was that expense that I wanted to look at on the, you know, we'll take a look at what we did. The primary home sale and the Schedule C that we have here with all these various expenses, okay? We're going to go into File. This is how I kind of double check TurboTax's work, right? We actually look at the forms that they printed out. Wait, what? Continue. Okay, here we go. Continue. We're going to do by mail. Continue. and continue without fixing, because I'm not going to file these things anyways. These are all just for illustration. Download this thing. Let's take a look at it. See what we got here. Boom. Tax return. There we go. Okay, let's look at Schedule C. C statement. I want to see that one too. They don't have the adjustment. That $1,000 that I put in there, that was a personal from Cash App. That's what I wanted to see, how they were going to do this. So I believe it's supposed to be on the Schedule 1. Okay. Let's look at the statement. What is the statement showing? See, they did put it on the Schedule 1. Look at that. So they put it income, and then they put deductions. So Sam, this goes to, yeah, try this. Look, I don't want to work. Sam, this is essentially what we're supposed to do. So like if you go into like TurboTax and you were to amend your return and to include this, you would have to include that 1099K in there and just say like, you know, let's say like 20,000 is what they put the 1099K for, and then check that box that it's like all personal. If you remember from TurboTax, check that box, and then it would just end up here, and so you wouldn't be taxed on it. There you go. Boom, redacted. Okay, so let's look at our 1090 or our Schedule C, right? This is where we put that consulting information into. So there's our auto expense. It should tell us, right, how much business miles. That'll actually be on the depreciation schedule here. Oh, come on. Where are you? There it is. My Honda Civic. Look at that. Boom. 2415 is how many miles that we, was it 64 cents? 0.64? No, it's 65 cents. 2415 times 0.65. That should be it, I believe. Oh, no, they're also adding the parking on there. That's why. That's what's going into here. But nonetheless, okay, so we have our auto expense. Depreciation, that's our phone or our computer that we put in there. All the legal expenses, the travel, the meals, right? They only took half of the meals that we put in there. Okay, and there we go. So we're going to get taxed on that. Now let's take a look at the home that we sold. There it is. Okay, deal. We take a look at this. Schedule D is where that primary home sale goes. And there it is, right? We sold it for that. Our basis was that. All of it was excluded. Zero income here, right? And you'll see down here, there it is again. E and H. And there should be a worksheet actually behind there. But nonetheless, none of it is actually taxable. What else did we do? The IRS PIN. Well, I didn't actually do that because I didn't have one. So anyways, all right, this all looks good. Well, I hope this was somewhat helpful for Sam and Fowd. I will go back and do that one for you. Okay, deal, for Pro Series, the IHSS W2. If this was helpful, man, definitely like, share, subscribe, or, you know, I do this every Monday at 4 o'clock Pacific time. If you haven't already, make sure you do use our TurboTax link. I get a little chunk of that change when you go to buy it, whenever you do buy it. No difference in pricing for you, but nonetheless, I get a little bit of that. Thank you guys so much. Till next week.